Hey guys, what's up? It's Sen here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video we are going to be talking a little bit about skateboarding while I play one of my favorite games, Skate 2. Skate 2 was a fun one, man. I didn't play as much Skate 3. I know that was a very popular one just because it was a lot newer. The maps might be better, but I just like this one a lot personally. I feel like a lot of people agree with me in saying that Skate 2 is the better one, but just more people play Skate 3. I think it's just more availability. If you want to play Skate 2, you have to come back on PS3, which is what I'm on now. And not a lot of people want to do that. I can't really blame them. And as far as skate video games, man, like, obviously there's Session and Skater XL, which I wouldn't mind getting my hands on, but, you know, I have these readily at my disposal, so I figured I'd mess around with them for a little bit. Now, for something like Tony Hawk versus Skate, like, as far as preference, I like both games a lot. I think both games are really good at different things. Skate, or I guess I should say Tony Hawk games are, you know, more arcadey, which is totally fine. You kind of have your level or you have your map, and you can session parts of a map on Tony Hawk, but I feel like sessioning, like, you know, small areas is a lot more common in a game like this, which I feel like would lead you to getting burnt out on a game like Skate a lot slower. Because, you know, it's like, oh, let me hit this ledge, let me, you know, go to one of the skate parks and, you know, hit up the quarters or whatever. It's like, oh, this is a sick manual pad, let me try this. It's like, oh, you know, let me session this gap, things of that nature, which in the Tony Hawk game, your whole map is the skate spot. So, which is why I would say you'd probably get burnt out on Tony Hawk map faster, but you have crazy combos to kind of, you know, tide you over as well. It's like, all right, what's the craziest combo I can land on this map? Like, what's the biggest chain I can get going? But I didn't want to just talk about skateboarding video games. I wanted to talk about skateboarding in general. I like to skateboard. Skateboarding is one of my many passions. I'm a dude of many passions. I love music and skateboarding and golf and drawing and fighting games and things of that nature. I love all kinds of things. I'm a dude that likes a lot of things. Can't stress that enough. And skateboarding, for a long time, was one of my passions. And it still is. But it has definitely taken a backseat. I don't skate nearly as much as I used to, or to the degree that I used to. I'm a better skater than I ever was. I just skate a lot less. Now, with that, kind of the same thing has happened for a lot of friends of mine. Friends have kind of had skating take like really a backseat, and I guess I should preface this by saying that my high school friends, skating wasn't like a passion for them. Okay, let me session these baby stairs real quick. Okay, so yeah, for my high school friends, skating wasn't really a passion. It was more of a means of transportation, which totally understand. It was the same for me for a very long time. I'm just gonna do a nice heel flip, get out of my fucking way, bitch. And yeah, so, but I was still a lot more passionate even when I wasn't doing tricks or anything like that than any of my friends were. Skateboarding was very freeing for me. It was, you know, how I got around town, and how I'd go over to a friend's house, and, you know, I kind of thought about that because for the first time in a while, like, I skated to Little Caesars to pick up a pizza, and it's not that far from my house or anything like that, but, you know, I told my homie, my roommate, is just like, oh yeah, I skated to Little Caesars to pick up a pizza. He's like, really? Where back in high school, that was something so common, was just to like, yeah, dude, like, you want to go anywhere with your friends, you skated, or you took out your bike or whatever, and you skated around town. I shit you not, I would skate like 16 miles a day, going over to a friend's house, and then we'd skate. Well, I'd skate from my house to his house. Sometimes my mom at the time would take me, but then we would go from his house and we go to like the mall and we'd walk around or whatever. Excuse me, sir, pardon me, coming through. Oh, didn't realize these were stairs, my fault. Let's hit an ollie big spin. Ooh, not very clean, that was all good. And yeah, man, some days, I'm not gonna lie, we're borderline heat stroke. Like, it just the amount, or like, you know, how hot it would be, would really take its toll for sure. 3 shove. I'm trying to do a tray flip. I don't remember how to do a tray. I remember this one time in high school, I had actually sketched off the back of my video production teacher's motorcycle. He wasn't going crazy fast or anything like that. He was probably going like 15 miles per hour maybe, which you know, for someone that doesn't skate, that's probably pretty quick. But yeah, it was cool though. I got a little bit of street cred from the homies for that. That was tight. But yeah, after high school, I had moved to Nevada, which is where I currently reside. And I was living with my parents for quite some time. And that whole time when I was a teenager still, I started learning tricks because I thought it was cool. It was something I wanted to learn and kind of, you know, take my level of freedom with skateboarding to a different degree. So I started learning like flat ground tricks and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work. It was some of my like best exercise I would get out of skateboarding, because I would just sit there constantly doing flat tricks, getting super sweaty and stuff like that. I was in pretty decent shape. Eventually, I made friends out here that also were totally down to skate with me and learn tricks and go to skate parks and stuff like that. Like thus caused like the evolution of trying to get better at skateboarding and like learning tricks around the park and stuff like that. And I was a flat ground rat for a while. It wasn't for some time that I really began to like skate around parks a lot more. Now it's pretty common that I go to a skate park, and I'm not all that good, but you know, I've gotten a lot better. But for those friends, I pretty much got all my friends from my hometown back into skating. Just because that's how we all got around. Like, I remember just having like a big clique of us on our boards or whatever, and just traveling in a group just to get around town. It was one of my favorite things to do back home. And even when I visit every now and then, I'll bring my skateboard just to kind of remind me of old times. I'll hit up a park or something, but you know, I'll also skate around a little bit. So yeah, after I moved and made like my skateboarding friends, we would have like all day skate sessions. Like, none of us were really that good. I think at this point I'm probably the most confident skater out of all of us. We each have our different strengths, but yeah. So for my friends at home, pretty much like I said, it was a means of transportation. Pretty much as soon as everyone got their license, skateboarding essentially became non-existent. It was no longer a thing that anyone really wanted to do. No big deal, but it was a little bit disheartening because skateboarding was still such a big passion for me. How the fuck do you tray? Inward heel. 360 inward heel. So I need to do like this and then like that. That's a hard flip. Hey, nice. Hell yeah. So yeah, my friends from my hometown gave up skating. There's a bit of a story with one of them that I'll get to in a second. But yeah, even as we've gotten older now, my friends that I used to skate with, kind of skating has taken a big backseat for them. No problem, but once again, it's just kind of disheartening, especially when like all the days and good times that you'd have skating with your friends. Like, no joke, we would get to a park at like 7, 8, 9 a.m. and you know, we'd get done with our session at like, you know, when it would get dark. When it would get dark would be the deciding factor of, it's like, all right, it's probably time to go home now. I'll catch you guys either next weekend or tomorrow if it was a Saturday. One of my friends, Troy, I kind of really have to twist his arm to get him to go skate with me. I totally understand he doesn't want to get hurt and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm not really worried about getting hurt. I feel like quite confident. I'm not doing anything crazy, and I always tell my friends like, oh, hey, you don't have to do anything crazy, just come out, just like float around the park, whatever, and it'll be good exercise. Now with my roommate and my other friend Cody, the arm twisting is a lot more minor. Like, we actually just skated yesterday and we had a decent little skate session. The only reason it kind of came to a close as early as it did was because Cody was feeling nauseous. Actually, he had like a whole bunch of caffeine and he didn't really have anything, so he felt like he was kind of gonna throw up, and I was like, oh, yep, no worries, totally understand. And even the time that we did skate, we had a pretty good session. It was actually a really good day, man. We went to a game store, we got some PS2 games and stuff like that. Shout out PS2, one of my favorite consoles. And yeah, we went to the skate park, had a decent little sesh. I was working on my tray flips a little bit. I'm trying to get those back, man. I had a day where I had them, and just after that, they just kind of disappeared from existence. I'm pretty close to him again. I remember my old secret, or air quotes around secret, it's not that big a thing. That kind of helped me get a lot closer and kind of stick some of them, but by the time I figured it out today, I was already at the park for like an hour and a half. I was already sweating bullets. And something about flat ground just takes it out of you just because of the constant jumping. I want to do like a nollie tray. Oh! Asking you shall receive, baby. Hell yeah. After we finished up at the park, we got some canes. We watched some Justice League, which one of the more solid episodes of season 1. Justice League is a godlike show if you guys have never watched it, from the early 2000s. One of my favorite shows as a kid. I'll put the name of the episode while I'm editing this. All in all, that day was actually pretty good. And Cody was saying, it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind coming out a little bit more. And he's like, oh, because that was a ton of fun. And you know, it's just that thing where it's like, you kind of forget how like fun and how much of a good time skating is, because like it's just one of those things where it's, if it's at the back of your mind, you don't really think about it. You don't think about like, oh yeah, man, dude, skating just elates this feeling of like freedom, whether it's like skating around town and or you know, doing tricks at a park, just having a good time, being outside with your boys or your friends or whoever. And that was the biggest like thing for me why skateboarding has always, like, it's never truly taken a back seat where I just stopped doing it, because of like the freedom and the feelings that it elates for me, and the fact that it's like really good exercise. Like one of my favorite series on the Ride channel was just like when they skate around town and have these skate sessions, and like hey, today's guest is like this skater, and yeah, they just skate around town, like stop at food spots, just like have a day out skating, like not necessarily at a park, but just literally just like around like downtown venues and stuff like that. They go grab some food, hang with their friends, and just have a good ass time. And like a similar YouTuber that kind of relates that same feeling is one of my favorite YouTubers, Luis Mora. Really good skater, but like the thing that he always like focused on was his filming. And I love filming too, man. Filming is like the way in which he films is like super solid, like fundamentally really good. Like the shots that he gets, the B-roll, the skate clips, and the talent that he shows off. And him as a skater as well is very, very good, very talented. He doesn't take the spotlight. He kind of showcases his friends and like other skaters and things of that nature. I recommend both of those channels. I think I just get a little bit nostalgic when I skate. That's like a really big thing for me. Like I've been skating since I was a little kid, but it wasn't for some time that I started focusing on tricks. Like I remember my first board was because my dad had bought like a storage unit for cheap. And there's this really shitty Walmart board in there. There wasn't any grip tape. Like, of course, it was a Walmart board, so the trucks were plastic. And my first upgrade was because my older brother, he's just like, I'm BMXing now. I'm not really skating. Do you want the skateboard? And I was like, hell yeah. And that was when I got my first, like, real board. And then when I was probably, like, I want to say... I was definitely a teenager. I might have been a young teen when I built my first like Zoomies board and stuff like that, and that served me for a while. Come on, baby. I doubt I could pop into that ledge with this speed. I'll never forget the time where, man, one of my best friends, he'd come out to Nevada from my hometown. And we were just having a good old weekend. And I was just like, oh, hey, I'm going to have a skateboard for you to use. I'm going to teach you a couple tricks. And he's like, oh, I'm down. Hell yeah. And, dude, we hit up a park. I had him, like, roll around the park real slow, like. It wasn't anything crazy. And I was like, all right, I'm going to teach you how to roll fakie. So I had him go up this little quarter and just roll back down fakie. And dude, he ate it, and he ate it bad. He ended up breaking his leg, bro. Like, I really wasn't asking him to go like all the way up the ramp or anything like that. I was just like, oh, hey, just go up a little bit, come back down fakie, stay low, and like you'll be good. And then he goes up, he goes to put a foot down and take his foot off the board, and dude just bites it. Oh my god. Just anything that could go wrong did go wrong in that situation, and he just ended up breaking his leg. And but the thing that threw me off was he was so calm about it that I was just like, no, you didn't break your leg. Nah, I'm like, nah. It's like, no, it's broken. And dude, I used my jacket in the car to like hold his leg up in like a sling, pretty much. And yeah. Oh my god, that was crazy. So I can understand maybe if he didn't want to skate, but to my friends that already do, like, yeah, it's a bit of a different case because they were actively trying to skate before meeting me and stuff like that. Oh man, and there was a day where I went out with another friend. We were just skating around town. He'd come up to visit, and we just had a day where we were just skating around town a little bit, picked up some drinks at the convenience store. We just talked a little bit. And homeboy spits one of the craziest lines, like, I don't even think intentionally, where I had asked him, is like, oh, hey, man, what do you want to do when you get older? We were like 18, 19 at the time. He's like, oh, I don't know, like, just as long as I'm happy. And I'm like, dude, you just casually threw out the hardest thing to do ever. It's like, well, just like super nonchalant. And I think about that like every day. Just like how being happy at this point feels like near impossible, when just like being younger, it just used to like come to you so easily. Like your worries were so simple, you know. Turn around, something so simple is just like casually the hardest thing ever of just being happy in general. But yeah, skating is one of those things for me that kind of elates that happiness. Like I have a really good time skating still, and I have a really good time when my friends come out and enjoy that simple thing. It's one of the times where my kind of worries in life go away, and I do have like moments of like, you know, being truly happy. Yeah, I guess the thing that I'm getting at here is like, is it disheartening? Sure. Do I understand? Absolutely. I mean, there's gonna probably be a day, one day, where I kind of like hang up the board too. You know, if you do it right, you can probably skate for your whole life. I mean, look at Tony Hawk, for instance. But I mean, the type of skating that I do isn't real. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, let's go. That counts. That counts. Fuck it. The type of skating I do isn't gonna last forever by any means. I like street skating a little bit more, especially more than my friends. They prefer, probably, I know Cody definitely prefers like bowls and stuff like that, which is dope. I can fuck with too. I want to be like a versatile skater where I can skate a little bit of everything. I'm stuck. I think the thing is just I'm gonna keep on skating. I'm gonna enjoy it for as long as I can. I've been fortunate enough to not get hurt really bad or anything like that. At most, I'll like twist an ankle or something like that. It's gonna be hard for me to give something like this up one day, because it is that thing that I do that's like freeing physically, where you know, nothing feels off limits, you know. And skateboarding was so popular in the early 2000s. I'm sure it's still quite popular, but I'm sure there's also been a decline since then. Like, I'm sure not as many kids are skating. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's more widely acceptable and there's more kids skating now than ever. But because of the popularity of games like Tony Hawk and games like this, had a wave of kids like skating, and then, you know, you had influencers like Bam Margera, Tony Hawk, that were kind of at the forefront of society in many different fronts, whether that was on magazines or TV or whatever it may be. You know, things like Jackass, and, you know, Steve-O wasn't like, Steve-O's a crazy skater, but he wasn't that crazy of a skater, right? It feels like, you know, more kids want to play video games and be a streamer, and I get it too. Like, I've wanted to be like a streamer slash a YouTuber since I was like 16 or something like that. Actually, before then, I'd say probably 2009 was the year. Just when I was like 16 is when I started. And yeah, man. So I get it, but you know, skateboarding was the thing to do back in the day. I wonder how much that's changed, actually. I wonder, like... Shut the fuck up. I wonder if there's been, like, an actual decline or something like that. Or maybe it's, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe there's more kids skating now than ever. But yeah, I hope you at home are skating, or if you're wanting to get into skating, just go for it. Damn, that water texture looks like shit. Or if, you know, maybe some of your friends stop skating, that you should keep skating and stuff like that. Because You know, it's one of my favorite things. And if you don't enjoy it, that's something completely different. If it's just like, yeah, this has never been for me, I don't really care, then I totally understand. But if, you know, it's something that you are passionate about, keep on going. Like, it's just one of those things. I hope you guys weren't expecting anything other than just me chatting, because that was kind of the whole point of the video. But if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, if you enjoy this content, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and remember to keep skating. Peace.